Adulting is hard. Adulting is really, really hard. And I don't think people talk about it enough. I don't think people give you warning when you're a kid that it's going to be really hard to actually be in control of life. But in this video, I'm going to talk to you about adulting as a whole and how I balance work and social life and self-care and try and stay sane in the mad, mad, mad life that we call being an adult. So the first thing work is a big one. I work in a tricky industry that requires a lot of hours and a lot of time. So I've been working in the same company now for 6 years now. One thing that definitely has been hard, but I've definitely worked on improving at, is being able to set boundaries and be that before, during, or after work. So for me, I get into work a bit later just because it helps me feel like I have more control of my day. So I can get up in the morning, get ready, make myself lunch for the day, have breakfast if I'm feeling like having breakfast, which is never because I don't eat breakfast. But if I'm hungry and I wake up feeling really hungry, I can have time to put something together. And then I will generally either cycle to the office or get the tube. But I don't like to get the tube at 8 when it's really, really busy. So I kind of leave my house normally around 8:45 or 9 to get in for 9:30, 9:45, which is fine because I end up working late. So I make up the hours anyway. But for me, that's one thing I do to try and stay in control of my life and feel like I know what's going on. During the day, I try twice or 3 times a week to go to the gym at lunch, just because it gives me a nice separation. I think typically we eat at our desk or I'll have lunch with a friend if the friend's available. But sometimes I think for me, it's nice to break up the day to exercise, and a lot of the seniors in my team do it, and they've set a good example and made it fine to do so. But for me, it's just having that 35, 45 to an hour break where I can just go downstairs, lift some weights, or maybe do some cardio or whatever, and just get a sweat on, distract myself, fully disconnect from work, take a break, and then come back, shower, and then feel like I'm refreshed and starting another mini half day. In the evenings, I generally try and leave the office by 6, just so I can get out and have again a bit of a separation. So if that's cycling home or traveling home on the tube, and then I will come home, have dinner, and then log back on if I need to, which I normally do most nights because we work relatively late. But for me, that's how I kind of establish control of my life. I think initially when I started working longer hours, wake up early, get into work to get ahead of work, and then I'd work till 7, 8 and then go home and be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I've just been working all day. And if you don't actually put things in place and kind of say, I'm going to do this every day, I'm going to take these breaks, the day will just go like that. So that's one thing I definitely try and do with work. And it obviously is easier when you're more senior and you're more experienced, you know what you're doing, and you kind of establish yourself in a team. But I do think anyone would respect someone that knows what they need to do to maintain themselves so they can work at the best ability possible. And I'm not my best when I'm working for 6 hours straight without a break and I haven't had a lunch break. I need breaks regularly for my brain to kind of recalibrate and reset so I can kind of breathe and come back with a fresh, clear mind and then work well. So that's with work. And then social life, this is one I still struggle with and find quite hard. I like to see my friends. I like to be kept busy, but it's that kind of fine balance of being busy and being overwhelmed. And sometimes I can stack my plans too heavy during the week, which means when it comes to the weekend, I actually should be relaxing and having fun. I'm exhausted, or I'm tired, or I'm cranky, or I'm behind on my other stuff that I want to do, such as filming videos, or researching, or planning, or writing, or film stuff. And so it's really important to me to make sure that I kind of keep that balance right. And initially, when I first moved to London again, back out of my parents' home and was working, I'd have plans every day of the week, or most days of the week, and I'd be busy. Saturday, I'd have a lunch, and I'd go back home and get changed, go out in the evening, then be out to whatever time of the night, then come back home, suddenly have a roast, and then come back and then rush to get ready for work, and iron my shirts when I used to wear. Do you remember when we used to wear suits to the office and then work from home and casual dress came in? But anyway, and it just was too much. And then I started, obviously COVID happened, I had no plans, so I was like, oh my God, fine. I actually realized that as much as it was weird not seeing my friends, I actually didn't mind having enough solace and time to just be by myself, and I used that time to kind of just watch films, read, eat, cook a lot, and kind of get into content stuff, which was really enjoyable. And I was still working, obviously, and work was very busy during COVID because of the fact I work in the finance industry. But it was nice to kind of have my evenings to myself more often. And so when I kind of came back out of COVID, I started trying to be more, and I don't do this all the time, and it can slip sometimes, but I try my best to keep at least 2 days in the week free, because it means I have time to, again, do some meal prep for the rest of the week. So I generally will make my lunch in the mornings and make 2 or 3 portions, or I'll make I'll make dinner in the evening and make an extra portion, but I'm always thinking about taking food to work. And that's another thing I do with work, just trying to make my own lunch, because it's nice to be able to have what I've made rather than spending money and blowing money away to corporations in central London. But it means I have time to if I want to just chill and do nothing, I can just sit and watch TV. If I want to read, I can read. If I want to edit a video that's due, I can edit a video. If I want to just do some research or plan or just do nothing and just lie down and be a potato. I have the ability to do so, but I didn't like the fact that I felt like my calendar was leading me rather than me leading my calendar, and that was something I found really hard. Like looking at my calendar for the week and being like, oh, I have all these plans that I don't really want to do right now, and I wish I had time to like do things that are priority to me, but I can't because I said yes. And so it can be hard if someone asks you, are you free on this date? And technically you're free on the date because it's empty in your calendar, but that week already has 3 plans, and that's going to be the 4th one, and it's going to be too much to do that Monday to Friday. I just say, no, I'm not. Can we try the week after? And sometimes when you miss a friend or you want to see them or they're asking to see you, it can be, you can feel guilty for pushing something 7 days later when you could be free that day. But if I'm going to go on that day and say yes when they ask me initially, and then I'm going to be tired and... Oh, that's my cat's feeding bowl. If I do go on that day and then I go and I'm not feeling my best and I end up just sat there the whole time thinking, when can I leave? And I'm behind on stuff and I'm like in a bad mood, I haven't got anything to say and I'm drained, I'm just not my best self. I'm doing both of us a disservice. I'd rather do it a week later and be in the right frame of mind to be my normal self and have a good time. And then on the weekends, again, trying to keep one day of the weekend free. Generally, my preference is Saturday, like most of the day free, so I can wake up when I want, have a lie-in, sort my house out, do a bit of cleaning, do some laundry, and then be like, okay, just chill and like relax a bit. And then if I have a plan for like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, fine, it's way better because then I kind of have had the first half of the day to myself. And then Sunday, really, like no one should really, in my opinion, no one should have plans on Sunday unless it's like an event or a birthday, something. Sunday for me is really, and I've learned this from my friends, Sunday reset is the day where you just reset your life. And since I've started doing that, I feel way more in control. I can go to the shop if I need to, go to the gym, like make some food, chat to my mum or my dad on the phone or whatever, speak to my siblings, do some cleaning, have some time to nap or just lie down, do some content editing, do some content planning, and then start the week like I've feeling like I'm already in charge, rather than like getting back late from a plan at 8 on a Sunday and being too tired to do anything, and then being like the week starts off in a weird way because you have no clothes, no underwear to wear, nothing's packed, you don't know what you're going to eat that week, there's no food in the fridge, everything is messy. It really does really mess with me when my week starts off like all discombobulated because I didn't really take the Sunday time to do it properly. So those are things that I do with social life. And again, having balanced friendships is really important. I have friendships where, you know, I'm not always one organising and they're not always one organising either. So if maybe I'm busy and I don't have the time to be like, oh, hey, we should catch up soon, they ask me. And then when I remember I'm free, I'll ask them. And it kind of feels like it's balanced. And that is important. Friendships that when you do see the people, you have a good time and you come away feeling refreshed and excited and energized, not drained and tired. So that's social life. And then self-care. Self-care is one that I'm still kind of figuring out. I struggle to find the control to pull myself away from stuff and just take a break and do nothing. I think generally I'm always like thinking about what I need to be doing and should be doing. Like even today I woke up at 9 and it's now 5 and I've been doing content all day. I edited 4 videos and this is my 3rd video I filmed for YouTube, and then I've like been making cake for my friend whose birthday is in like 2 days, which I need to sort out. And then yeah, it's just like it can be hard to be like, oh, actually I've taken a holiday from work and I'm on annual leave, I should use this time to just do nothing. But at the same time, I get restless if I just sit and watch TV for more than 3 or 4 hours, unless it's like an evening and I'm really tired. So like I wouldn't have been able to just sit today and do nothing all day. And also I enjoy doing this and I like doing it and it is fun. I like learning more about my craft and getting better at making videos and editing and using different lenses, and so it is all enjoyable to me, but it's also important for me to take time to stop. And so after this I'm going to go out into London and just buy some stuff I need to buy, come back and then just chill in the evening. And I've allocated like from 8 o'clock onwards, after I go to the gym, I will just spend the time and relax. And so for me, it's like forcing myself to do that self-care. And like even just like I want to buy some candles, so I have candles in the house, and like I've started reading again, because for me reading, like it really just takes my mind out of what I'm doing that day or where I'm going or whatever's happening, and just I'm allowed to fully delve into that world of that book and escape. And I found that really refreshing and quite freeing. So I've been doing that more. And skincare is quite enjoyable. It's something I try and do every morning at least, and in the evening when I'm not tired, just taking the time to take care of myself. And also exercise is a form of self-care, hence why I'm going to the gym. I think dedication and consistency to your health and looking after your body and being like focused on being the best version of yourself and just taking care of yourself, not for appearance but just for actually being healthy and well, has been really nice. So like I've gradually been doing more and more sports, so doing cardio and then, you know, doing CrossFit and then doing more weights, and I've started running. But as I'm doing more, the more I'm enjoying it, and I'm seeing the benefits and the importance of health and training and taking care of myself. And so that is another form of self-care, and it can be different for you. Other hobbies that you just do for fun, for example skating. I started skating again, and knitting. I used to knit as a kid for some random reason, and I have seen everyone crocheting online. I thought that's kind of fun. I'd like to do that when I have time. So every now and then when I'm sitting around watching TV. I pull out my knitting kit and I do a bit of knitting, and it's fun to just do things just for fun, not because I want to become a knitter and I can sell my jumpers and I'm going to make a profit off of that and then do reels on knitting and be a knitting Instagram influencer, just because I generally enjoy just the idea of crafting and doing something with my hands, and that's why I'm doing it, and that's the only reason I'm doing it. So self-care again is important, and these things are hard. And yeah, of course, it's tough sometimes staying on top of seeing your friends, staying in touch with your family, doing a good job, planning your career and figuring out how you should be positioning yourself strategically to get to the places you want to go to, and exercising, and then doing meal prep, and then doing research about like what you should be eating, and then following trends and watching the news, and then being on TikTok and being online on social media and Twitter and seeing what's trending, and then, you know, keeping your house clean and doing your laundry and doing your skincare and taking your vitamins and getting your hair done and doing your skin. And there's so many things that fall into this like this pack of being an adult that require a lot of effort to maintain. And I think the truth is that no one's ever perfect, and people can seem like they have it all in control or under control all the time, but realistically behind the scenes we never know what it's like. And everyone has weeks where things fall out of cycles and then they get back into it, and it's fine for you to have a bad day or week or month even, but as long as you are able to kind of do what works for you and not put pressure on yourself to be a certain way that is causing you harm or detriment but actually is useful to you, then that's fine. And I have ADHD, and so sometimes being rigid with certain things and doing things at certain times and having certain forms of organization don't work for me, because I might not be in the mood to do them. I might not be able to activate and do them when I want to. I might not have enough dopamine to do them. And so say I'm going to do this every day at this time, if I just wake up and I'm going to actually hate doing it, it's pointless. Whereas with me saying, these are the things I want to do every day and I'm going to try and do them when I can and getting to them when I feel the energy or mood to do them, is really helpful. So it's about being malleable and adapting and, you know, being open to change and just doing things as and when they feel right, rather than being harsh on yourself and forcing pressure to be perfect when that is not how life is and that's not how anyone is. I'm still figuring it out. I'm not by any way saying that I'm perfect and this is the way to live your life. This is just how I live it and how I balance it and what works for me. So do what works for you. And if any of these tips are useful and helpful, then try them out and tell me if they help. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope my perspective and view and advice and tips and just the way I live my life has been interesting to listen to. If there are things that you do as well that are similar, let me know. If there are things you do completely differently, let me know. And if there's any other advice and tips you have that you would share with people, again, in the comments. As always, please be sure to like and subscribe, share the video again if you want to, and also leave a comment. The more comments, the better. Thanks so much for watching, and see you on the next video.